welcome to another episode of Straight Talk. I'm Hadley Carrington-Styles. This is Jude, my co-host.
Hi there.
And Jude and I are excited about coming to you guys today because we know, as you can see, I'm kind of slouching around. We know everybody's staying home, or at least we hope everyone is staying home. And so we thought it might be an interesting thing to find you guys some things to do while you're at home, just lounging around, if that's what you're doing like me. So we decided to watch some videos, and we wanted to find out what are some really good things on Netflix. And we started out with a couple of documentaries because I'm a big documentary fan. And I watched one that Jude wanted me to watch, and she watched one that I wanted her to watch. And they were both really good, and so we wanted to talk about those. Jude, would you like to introduce the show that I picked for you and also explain how that goes with your outfits?
I certainly can. So Hadley chose a documentary for me, which was about two people rather obsessed with the 80s music sensation Tiffany, and the documentary was called I Think We're Alone Now. It was based, I think, over a few years. It talked about things in the past, and I also feel that it was probably made a few years ago as well. But it was a really interesting story, and that's the influence for my outfit today. That's what inspired my outfit today, I should say. So I've gone for the kind of red hair and the sweater look that Tiffany used to wear all the time. And it was a really interesting, almost quirky kind of documentary.
Yeah, it was quirky. It was kind of wacky in a way, but it was also pretty sad because these two individuals both had issues socially, I guess you would call it. One had Asperger's syndrome, and the other was a male to female, I believe it was pre-op transsexual. I can't be positive on that, but I'm pretty sure it was pre-op. So they have very interesting points of view of Tiffany and their relationships with Tiffany. And Jude, what else would you like to add to that? I know you saw it, but since I have,
as you said, it was actually quite sad because these two people who were both mentally challenged, I believe in different ways. The one gentleman was kind of middle aged, and he was he was a typical autistic case, I would say, if that is a thing, where he was very knowledgeable, very intelligent. He knew a lot about Tiffany. He was really interested in facts and the finer details, and he genuinely believed that they were close friends, that they were in love, and that he felt like he had to make great gestures. And he even got a restraining order put on him by Tiffany because he went to present her. I'm laughing, but it's not really funny. He went to present her with a katana sword and some, I think it's white carnations, which is apparently a gesture of great respect in Japan. But obviously they saw that as a very threatening thing to do, to bring a sword to give to somebody. So
it's not really a gift you receive many times.
No, I think it was just, I think the fact that he wasn't the most kind of
right. He definitely did it thinking. He definitely thought
there was no malice. He didn't. He in no way wanted to hurt her at all. That didn't seem to be.
It was an honor, right?
He was quite forceful about his feelings and about his knowledge, and he wasn't going to be swayed about it. And he had a lot of friends who were also autistic and on the spectrum, or had Asperger's, and even they could see that he was quite obsessed with her, which was really interesting. And then the other character that was that we met again, as
Well,
Hadley said,
we say character, but these are actual individuals. This was a documentary.
Yeah,
So,
no, absolutely. This is this person that we met.
Right.
And he was actually, I'm not sure, I'm the real title of what they are. Is it hermaphrodite when they're born with both sexual parts?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what apparently what I picked up. That's what he was, and I think he'd identified as a male for most of his childhood, right up until he was a teenager. But actually, I think he wanted to be female. So yeah, it's a really interesting documentary. It's also shot in an interesting way. You know the camera people are following them around, and you meet some of their friends and some of their family along the way. Okay, so when you've watched I Think We're Alone Now, you can then go on to watch the one that I recommended for Hadley, which I thought was awesome, and I'm sure she'll tell you all about it.
Okay, so the movie that Jude picked me to watch, I'm really glad she suggested because it was really good. It was called Don't F, you know that word, with kittens.
Cats.
Or cats. Cats, I'm sorry. Don't F with cats. And it is a very disturbing yet fascinating, I guess is the word that I'm looking for. It was very fascinating, even though it was quite disturbing. And the part that started it out mostly was an act that this man committed on video, posted on YouTube, where he where he kills some kittens. And I couldn't watch that part. I had to turn my head away because it made me really sad. So just let me warn you about that. But anyway, that's not the important part, except for that is a sign of a serial killer. Jude, what was your favorite part about it without giving too much away?
Well, what Hadley didn't say is the movie, it's not a movie, it's a documentary, is actually half of obviously about this guy that's posting these animal cruelty torture clips onto, I believe it's Facebook, but it's about the internet community that basically rallied around to try and get him caught, to find out who he was, to catch him before he did anything more serious. Although personally I find animal cruelty just as bad as human cruelty, but that's my opinion.
Exactly.
So yeah, it was fascinating that basically you can kind of do anything on the internet. You can find out anything. People have just got ways of pinpointing who you are, where you are, etc., which I guess is nothing new. We all know that deep down. But it was just amazing how this team of people, and I think we're talking hundreds of people, kind of rallied around to get this guy caught and to stop this from happening. And as Hadley said, it escalated quite spectacularly, and the police got involved.
Another part that I found really interesting was how he was such a narcissist. I mean, I'm not sure why I don't know if he actually modeled, Jude. Did he actually model, or was that like just something he kind of made up?
I think he tried to do some.
And he tried to make it look like he was living this high life. And if you really examined the pictures that he would post, you could see that his face was superimposed on other people in these fabulous places.
I'm quite morbidly fascinated about the minds of killers and things like that, and why they do what they do, what drives them to do it, and how they do it, really. But I do have to say, I did find that although they didn't actually show the clips of the animals being tortured at those particular parts, they showed sections of it, which gave you enough of an idea to know what was going on. And I think your imagination just did the rest, and that was it. Okay, guys, it's time for us to wrap things up. We've really enjoyed talking about the documentaries this week, and we hope that you will watch them too. Please leave a comment and let us know about your top picks for the lockdown period. This stuff keeps us entertained, stops us from going crazy, so see what you can find. There's lots of things out there. Don't forget to subscribe and like us and hit all the relevant buttons on YouTube, and we will of course try and give you what we want. So from Hadley and I, please stay safe, and thanks for watching Straight Talk.